They want to see that baby face come out on top. So the heel has to get him down a little bit in a position where he's controlled. Now the fans are going to get with it. The baby face fights back, he heels him back down, pulling the hair, pulling the tights, whatever they do. And then he's going to come to his feet and start that comeback. One comeback in a match. That's all you. But today, it's a constant comeback by both guys.
And all these,
you don't know who the baby faces are. You don't even know who the heels are anymore.
What the false finishes that they do are so phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
should get up.
Right. They should.
And all they're doing is exposing themselves as being phony wrestlers.
Have you talked about who is supposed to be the leader? I know you're talking about heels.
Yeah.
No, we haven't got every match. The heel is supposed to lead. It's all
smarter guys.
Yeah, he is lead all the way through.
Yep.
You let them do a little bit of what they do, the baby face, but then it's always the heel. And even if you let them win, you're going to get your heat back.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I had heat in the match.
Yeah. And I was so impressed when I first watched you wrestle that, every time you would wrestle, you always had a camera.
Oh, you mean the gimmick guy?
Yeah.
He's the gimmick guy.
Yeah. But he would have a camera taping his match.
A lot of people laughed at him for doing it.
Yeah. But then.
They're not laughing there.
Yeah, but no. But he was the only one.
He was.
The only one that had a camera there.
And I would bring those matches to Jake, and I'd have a bunch of them, and he suffered through a lot of really crap. But also what I would do with that, me and Austin drove together a lot. And also to meet Nash and meet Raven and meet Mick Foley. But we'd go after, because I didn't just film my match. When it was a house show, I filmed everyone's, so they all could see their match. We'd get a couple cases of beer and we'd sit and talk and just talk the business and talk psychology and come back and hope spots.
The thing that's missing today is the camaraderie that we had back then.
There was different.
There was so much taught in a hotel room with a couple cases of beer and watching those things. There was so much taught riding in a car for 4 or 5 hours.
I mean, like,
you're together. You got to stay awake. You got to stay awake. You don't want to, nobody needs to go to sleep.
So just so people know, and most of these people are watching, you've heard it, but when we fly into a town, we might wrestle there, but the next night it's 100 or 200
or
300 miles away and forth. Well, your day, I mean,
the guys know what you.
I was going to say, that's been a
600-mile trip every 2 weeks from Tulsa to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a tough ride.
That's a couple cases of beer.
No, that's a couple. Well, never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And back then, it was just a normal thing, because it was had your beer cooled down,
right?
But when you're a top guy, you got money, you got the big car. We're a bottom guy. Where I was, I filmed everything my entire career, but we were bottom guy. It's 4 guys, 250 pounds or bigger in a mid-sized car.
Yeah.
And you got to get your bags in there. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't be any more uncomfortable. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, because there's so many great memories that come out of that. And that's where you bond real relationships. And who was just talking to me about it? I think you were talking about, about the young guys that are coming, it was me and CODY last night. I went to go see the Nightmare Factory a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about some of these young kids that they have, and he's like, hang out with those guys, because they don't really get the chance. They don't drive. And so it's like, hang out with those guys, befriend those guys. There's a lot of really amazing talent. And I think with Jake being around that, his foot's back, and being able to go back there, because the guys who really want to know, and it might be this next generation of guys that are coming up that want to know how I don't have to get up. I just took one of the most devastating bumps ever. I don't have to get right up and do another one. Let me crawl to the rope and pull, and let his get some heat.
The anticipation of the act is what you want.
But the
Because
bond,
once you have the act done, it's over.
right, right. And the bonding, I always tell people, it's not about who you know or who knows you. It's about who's willing to say they know you. And when you're bonding at those moments, you create those real friendships. Like without Kevin Nash, without Scott Hall,
Right.
without, those two guys, because they're the two guys when they came back, we're like, why are you doing something with him? And I helped Scott Hall get his job and created the Diamond Stud look, which would become Razor Ramon, which he made millions of dollars with. And when Kevin Nash and I were bottom curtain jerkers as a tag team, his money went down and down and down. And he's like, I'm going back to bar business. And I'm like, no, you're not.
He worked for my phone.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, right. He worked for the Cheetah. And he ran, and he was on the day crew. He was the day manager of that. And made great money.
yeah.
Made great money. And he was like, I'm going back to business. I'm like, no, you're not, bro. You're going to be one of the biggest stars in the world, bro.
It's hard.
I can't go. But he did. But he did.
Fire in the belly.
Yeah.
The fire in the belly is going to determine if you can stick it out.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the camaraderie that you developed back in the day in Florida. There was this ratty ass holy T-shirt that was treasured more than money. And the way you got this shirt was by kicking the owner's ass. And it was these were guys that I'd never get out of the car with. The Briscos and those guys,
And when you say get out of the car with, right, that's wrestling.
Not much.
No, you mean like, no, let's pull the fuck over.
And
Let's see.
we'd be drinking, and we'd be following them, and they'd pull it. Oh my God, they're going to do it. And we'd pull over and get behind them, put the lights on them, and they'd get out. And the next thing, there's guys bleeding. They throw an arm around him, give him a beer, and hop back in the car. You didn't get the fucking shirt, did you? Hell no, but I got that.
I want to point out, because a lot of people know Jerry Brisco, but they know him as being the clowns that Vince did to him.
Yeah.
And Pat, the clown. Jerry Brisco is one of the baddest men alive.
Amen, bro.
Breathing
Amen.
air.
Yeah.
The baddest motherfucker out there.
That's one I didn't want to lay on top of.
Jack, you're both of them.
Both I did not want to lay on top of, but something had happened to me.
Yeah, or the drip. They'd have that gleam.
Oh, God, you're
Classy.
Oh,
When they got classy,
uh-oh.
old WAHOO used to get out every now and then too. That crazy son of
Yep.
a bitch.
that was the biggest hand I ever seen.
Oh,
His
he'd
bag
beat
of
the
pills.
shit.
Bag of pills.
Vitamins.
The paint, the spray paint on
Yeah.
it.
We used to go around in his head. We'd leave a big circle. He would get so pissed off.
Oh, God.
It all come off in the back.
Yeah, I know, but it didn't matter. I had so much respect for him. What a great athlete he was.
Oh,
Yeah. What did he play for the Jets?
Yeah, he played with the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yes.
In college, he bet he could run from Stillwater to OU,
How far is that?
40, 50 miles. He bet a six-pack of beer. He was in college.
Right.
By the time he had ran it, he was getting national coverage.
Really?
They brought cameras out, bunch of this crazy fucking Indian. When he played football, they'd say, tackle by who? WAHOO. That's who.
Wow.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
And I remember those nights working for Mr. Crockett here. And I'd watch Flair and I'd watch Piper come in, and their chest would just be bleeding.
Yes.
Because WAHOO would take you out there and chop you so hard that you got giant blood blisters.
Oh, I'm
By
sure.
the end of the match, he'd bust them for you.
Thanks, Wahoo.
You know what that's
So glad I missed that.
You know what it's like getting 2 or 3 nights in a row of that shit?
Oh, my God.
Another one that's good at that, John Valentine.
Oh, well, that's a different animal there. He was a killer.
Now, Johnny Valentine broke his back in
Flight.
the flight.
Yeah.
Crash.
Yeah, he and I were on that. And he was telling me, he said, David, be glad you don't.
So you got knocked out.
Yeah. Well, I had a real bad concussion. And he was saying we were the last 2 that took off the plane. He thought his legs were caught on metal underneath, and he was trying to get him out. He didn't realize that his back was broken. They could smell the fuel. He was saying that, and I was thinking it's going to blow
blow.
fire.
Right.
Yeah. But he said, David, just be glad.
I don't think there was ever a tougher man than Johnny
Oh.
Vaughn. He enjoyed it.
Yes.
He enjoyed you hitting it.
Yeah. He said the only time he ever was at peace was when he was in that ring. I said, if you hit him hard enough, you get his cookies.
Absolutely busted up.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell you, I also heard that from a good friend of ours, Scott Hall. He said, the only time I'm at peace,
Only time lived. I heard him say it a million times.
I have control.
Right.
Right.